What's going on, guys? This is Z. I'm teaching you guys how to get the jet ranking on all of the levels in Jet Set Radio. This is Benten Burning. It's the last proper level of the game. There's two more levels after this, but they're sort of different. This is the last classic level in the game, and you'll see right off the bat, I'm going to grab these tags and I'm going to head over into this middle area here. If you've played all the way up to here, you would recognize these levels because they're three of the previous levels in the game combined into one. So right off the bat, I'm going to head off into this middle park area and hit the red pieces of graffiti on the second level of this circular area. So this level can be sort of tricky. It doesn't take as long to beat as some of the other levels, but again, it is sort of tough getting the jet ranking because you have to hit a lot of the optional green pieces of graffiti and also be pretty efficient moving throughout the level. Alright, so Goji is really helpful if you've played through the game once before. It doesn't matter what rankings you got on any of the missions, but if you had played through the game once before and this is your second playthrough and you've been getting jet on all of the levels, you would have unlocked Goji. He's really helpful because you need somebody with a high graffiti score. He's got a high graffiti score, and he also can carry, I believe it's 30 spray cans, which is actually double the amount of spray cans that any other character with a high graffiti score can carry. So that is why Goji is really the most advantageous character you can have here. If you've unlocked him, that's great. If you didn't, you have to use a character with high graffiti score, but it's going to be a lot tougher because you have to run around and collect graffiti a lot more often than you would if you had Goji. So now that we're done with that section, we're going to move back up here. And there's a good reason why I skipped this section first. Just because when you spawn, oh, I just have to note this here, there's some karate dude there, but if you swing around behind him like I did, he actually won't see you. So make sure you do that. If you do not do that, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get away from him because he's pretty vicious. Also pretty slow, but again, save you some time, run behind him. And alright, so like I said before, there was a reason why I had sort of avoided hitting that first, just because you don't have to. You're not going to trigger any enemy reinforcements, and you are already facing in that direction, so you might as well hit those first. Alright, so now we are moving on to this section. You might remember this section of the game. It's pretty prominent, one of the earliest levels, and once again, you can sneak up behind. Unfortunately, the character animation hit that, I don't know, karate dude, but again, it kind of glitches out if you don't run in front of him, so in this case you can see he can't even really hit me. So just be aware of that and just go behind him. Some of these ones are a little bit trickier. They're tags located on the little corners of the stairs, the upper level here. I think there's at least 4 of these hidden here. There might even be 6. I'm not really sure. We'll find out as we keep going throughout this level. I know I played this some days ago, so I don't remember exactly. But the one thing to note here is some of them are actually medium pieces of graffiti, so make sure you don't jump off the ledge too quickly. Alright, so reinforcements are coming up pretty quickly, but we are almost done with this section of the level, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And yeah, just keep spraying away. Check your map if you need to. Once you hit that large piece of graffiti, you can just go around, and the rest of them will be around the second level of this streetway. And yeah, so the toughest part is probably coming up. The rest of this level isn't too hard as long as you take it in the same order that I took it in. It shouldn't be too difficult for you. So at this point, again, the physics engine in this game isn't that great. I can't even jump off there. It's kind of frustrating at moments, but yeah, just gotta keep cracking at it. And once we get past these 2 more tags, we'll be on the last level of the game. So the reinforcements that come in, and I actually messed this up here. I didn't actually mean to jump down here, but it happened, and I would recommend that you come over here anyways, because there is an extra large piece of graffiti down here that you want to come and hit, just because it gives you a bunch of points. Just make sure you've got at least 14 spray cans so you can finish it. Actually, just kidding. I think you only need 7 spray cans to finish it if you use somebody with a high graffiti level. So at this point, there's no good way to make yourself go back up. So you're just gonna have to grind all the way up these tracks, and yeah, there's not much you can do to avoid the subway trains if they come. If you can't see them coming, it's not really that big of a deal. They don't do too much damage to you. But yeah, so because I didn't finish the last little portion of that level, what I'm going to do is just go back up the exact same way that I went back up the first time. And what you want to do ideally is you want to have finished up the street level area first, and then jump down to where I had just tagged those optional green pieces of graffiti. But I kind of messed that one up. But even regardless, I was still able to finish with the jet ranking. So you have some leeway in this level. So yeah, now I'm just going back to finish the last 2 pieces of graffiti that I need to hit on this portion of the level. So yeah, let's see. So at this point, the last 2 levels, there's another chase level after this one, and there is the final boss battle. So we're nearly at the end of the game, and I'm still going to make a couple videos afterwards just to explain how to unlock some of the characters, in case you don't want to go through all of the walkthroughs again. I'm just going to make one quick video explaining how to unlock all the characters, and this is one way you can get to the last portion of this large level. You want to go through this, I don't know if you want to call it a subway tunnel, because there's no subway there, but some sort of tunnel. And what you want to do right off the bat is try to hit these tags. All of these are going to be medium-sized pieces of graffiti, so you should be able to finish them quickly enough that the reinforcements don't do too much damage to you. This one's actually a large piece of graffiti, but once again, the flamethrower guys can be pretty annoying, but you can actually spray them in the back. It's just tough because they'll usually target you before you can jump around and spray them, but if you find the opportunity to spray them, go ahead and do so. So at this point, I didn't want to finish up the rest of that piece because the flamethrower dude was too close, and I, at this point, just need to run away, regroup. And there are some optional pieces of graffiti on the second level here on the rooftop, so make sure you hit some of these too if you end up running by them. Don't go in some weird out of the place way just to hit green pieces of graffiti on the rooftops here. If you're running by one, hit it. If you don't have one close to you, I wouldn't bother spending too much time trying to search them out. So most of the pieces of graffiti on this level are again on the second story on the rooftops. So it's not actually too difficult to avoid the guys with the flamethrowers, unlike some of the other large levels that you might have played through. The level with the flying dudes and the jetpacks, those guys are almost impossible to avoid because they can hit you on the rooftops, they can hit you in the sewer levels too, and In this case, these guys are confined to the first story, so it's not too bad. Alright, so that is the end of that level. As always, feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and we are almost done with the series. See you guys.